Hello, 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 it's Julia, welcome. The time has come for me to film one more monthly wrap-up. This time it is the wrap-up of all the books I read in September, although there are just 5 of those. And I'm very happy that it's finally October. No, I'm wearing orange because, pumpkins, and October just associates with October. And I also have lighted a candle just for it to feel like something more autumnal, and I'm eager to start. But before we kick off with the books, I wanted to say just two little things. The first of those is if you think that my voice sounds a little bit queerly, that's because I have a runny nose. I have my nose bunged up, and well, it slightly alters the way you pronounce things. And the second announcement is that I finally have proper lighting, thanks to one very attentive person. You don't see those awful like lines of light on my face anymore. And having said that, let's finally move on to the video itself, like to the books I wanted to talk about. And the first thing I read in September was Little Fires Everywhere by Celeste Ng. Actually, I started it in August and finished on like the 2nd of September, so it might even be more of an August read than September read. But since I finished it on the 2nd or the 3rd of September, there it is in my September wrap-up. I picked it up by accident and actually enjoyed it very much. The plot hinges on a 19-year-old photographer, Mia Warren, and her 15-year-old daughter Pearl, who arrive in a small, overly organized town of Shaker Heights in America. Of course, I don't remember the state. Who remembers the state? And there, their lives became intertwined with the lives of the big Richardson family, like father, mother, and 4 children. There is some love, some hatred, some skeletons in closets, and so of course this cute little American town from the American Dream, probably, which make for a wonderful read. This mixture is something really, really special. It's not all just fun, though. Some very important and serious issues are brought up in the book too. For example, we have discussions about interracial adoption and who is fit to be a mother or not fit. And I think that the recurring theme of this book is the second chance and who deserves or does not deserve it. All in all, I thoroughly enjoyed the book, and actually it was one of those books which leave me with a feeling that I don't want to get into them, like inside of them. That's surprising because usually I like to hide in the imaginary worlds, but this time I was simply just walking on air. That was the characters to make the decisions in the book and not me. I'm now very much looking forward to reading Everything I Never Told You by Celeste Ng, because to my mind, Ng is a very talented writer, and I really want to read something else by her. And as far as I know, Everything I Never Told You is the most famous book by her. Then the second book this month was Halcyon Years by Vera Novitskaya. This is a sequel to the 2 books in the series that I read in July. It was nothing remarkable though, and to be honest, I enjoyed it far less than I enjoyed the previous book in the series. Still, I want to finish the series since I have only one more book left, and I'll probably get into more detail when I finish it. Or maybe not. It's me, Then the third book was Bitterthorn by Kat Dunn. This is a gothic romance novel, like not something that I usually read, but I was intrigued by what I heard about it on BookTube. Our main character, Mina, is the chosen one that is given to a witch that has been haunting Mina's homeland for a great many decades. Mina is by no means a sheepish type, and our witch turns out to be more of a miserable woman than a monster. And the romance obviously happens between them in this amazing gothic castle of where the witch lives. To be honest, I am in two minds about this book. Like, on one hand, I genuinely enjoyed the world building, the setting, and even the plot itself. The characters are well shaped and deep, and by no means can I call them two-dimensional or difficult to believe in. However, the romance between those characters does seem very much unbelievable. Like, I see why there is affection between Mina and the witch, but I don't see why there is passion and, that kind of love. Not like sisterly love, but the love we have in romance novels. Just, sorry, I don't see it. I don't get it. I just don't believe in what's going on, which leaves me like with something of a sour taste in my mouth. Not like really sour, because I enjoyed the book, but I wanted a great romance, and I didn't get a great romance that I would believe in. It might be, though, because of my own sexual orientation that I don't really get the fun from a gay romance novel. Well, having said that, let's move on to the next, the fourth book this month. This is Up the Down Staircase by Belle Kaufman. Central to the plot is a young and idealist English teacher, Sylvia Barrett, or Barrett, no idea, probably Barrett, who comes to teach at an inner city high school in New York of the 1960s, mid-1960s, I believe. She struggles there to come to terms with the reality of a state school, because the picture she had painted in mind of how she would teach students and what she really saw in this school were as different as chalk and cheese. So of course it is difficult for her. This book paints a very vivid and poignant picture of what the educational system is like. And even despite the fact that the book is set in New York of 1960s, of the 1960s, which means that I live in another age and another country, like another everything, I still find a lot of details given in this book very much pertinent to the reality. And this is honestly heartbreaking. Like, 60 years has passed. It's the other side, the other part of the world, but the problems of state education are all the same. Like, plus a change, nothing changes. But apart from being this thought-provoking and heartbreaking critique of the educational system, this book is also an ode to those teachers who managed to survive in this cruel system and still go on with their precious toil and be humane and be humans and be good teachers and help their students and make their students learn something new and see something new in the world, which I absolutely appreciate about this book. I mean, it's good that Kaufman is talking about not only just problems, but also how wonderful those people who are able to endure. I'm lost in my train of thought. Okay, so it is wonderful that Kaufman mentions not only that the system is awful, but also the fact that those who endure this system are amazing people, and what they do is very much praiseworthy. I think now it's more clear even to me and to you probably too. And I also want yeah also what is really remarkable about this book is the writing style. The narrative is comprised not of regular chapters with descriptions and dialogues, but of different papers, letters, streams of consciousness, and so on, which is pretty unusual for a book. And I think that is very interesting, and it deserves to be, and it deserves a special note from me. But now we have to move on to the last book I read in September, which was Princess Chaaha by Lydia Charskaya. This book was a reread. I read it for the first time when I was in primary school. I think I was like 8 or 9, at most 10. So that was half of my life ago. And I just felt like getting a trip down the memory lane with this book. So Princess Chaaha tells a story of a young Georgian princess and her adventures both at home and later at a girls' school in Imperial St. Petersburg at the wake of the 20th century. The main character is called Nina, and Nina's adventures are, beyond a shadow of a doubt, absolutely mesmerizing. Nothing more to say about it. What actually disappointed me, though, is the writing style. I remembered it to be much better. When I read it this time, I was horrified at the number of words and collocations like little forehead, little hand, little something, little other thing. Like too many words with little idea, with the idea of them being small. So the writing style could definitely have been better. Still, I quite enjoyed it. Probably not in. Probably one of the reasons for it was that was a trip down the memory lane. But even if we forget about it, the plot is still great. And I absolutely understand why I loved this book so much when I was younger. But to be honest, I wasn't that impressed by it. So, unfortunately, the fifth book wasn't as great as, for example, the fourth, but we have to end here. I want to add, though, that there's also 3 current reads that are moving from September to October. I've already mentioned them in my previous video, I believe. Those are The Turn of the Screw by Henry James, Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen, and also Yellowface by R.F. Kuang, which I'm actually gonna finish today, and today is Wednesday, the 4th of October. So this brings me to the end of this wonderful wrap-up. I hope that you have enjoyed it, because I did. I have enjoyed it. And if you want to see me again talking about books and other stuff, please subscribe to my channel, Julia Caesar. And bye!